So for this past weekend, I had been feeling really bad, but I was actually able to manage my pain at home with medication. So on Sunday, it started to get worse. Monday, it was horrible. By Tuesday, I could no longer take it. So I was up like 5 a.m. I couldn't really sleep all night because I was in so much pain, but I did doze off and I got up at 5 a.m. and I was in pain. I took my medication. So I called the day hospital probably like maybe 7:38, around that time. And I called to see if they had an appointment that I can come in for pain management. So they called me back probably about 9 or something like that, and they had an appointment. They asked me how soon I could be there, and I said about 10. So it was already 9, so I had to rush to get my daughter ready, get her dressed, me get dressed. My mom came to pick her up. I didn't want my mom to have to drive to drop me off with her and then go back home. Like, I didn't want to give her that stress. I just took an Uber and I went in, and when I got there, they called me back. I wanted a bed, but I couldn't get a bed because I guess it was full. But really, my back was hurting really bad, and so were my legs. So it was really uncomfortable for me to like sit or to recline. Like, my head part could be reclined, but not my back. I need my back to be completely flat. Like right now, I'm laying on the bed and I've got the heating pad on my back, and my back is flat laying on the heating pad, and my head is a little bit elevated, which works for me. It's helped me out. It's helped me to manage it a little bit more. So they didn't have a bed, but they had like the recliner seats, and the nurse was nice enough to help me recline it back as far as it would go. And, she tried to make me as comfortable as she could. Because when I first got there, I couldn't sit because I had already been sitting in the car and been sitting in the lobby. But, then she's excited about her show. Sorry. Then, by the time I got to the back, it was already bad. Like, I did try to sit down, but it was already too bad that I couldn't sit down. And, they had to take my vitals while standing. She had to access my port while I was standing. She was really, really, I would say, she was really, really courteous. She was really helpful. She tried to accommodate me as best as she could, and, and she did great. So, big ups to her. Like, she really, really, really helped me out. So she put the seat back to recline. It started to administer my medication. I started to feel better. I wanted to be home before 2 so that my mom can go to work. But thank God, my brother was able to come, to get my daughter and then come and pick me up. So I ended up staying like a little bit past 2, which was fine because by the time I left, I was feeling a little better. The medication had helped me take the edge off because I was really at a point where I was in tears because it hurt so bad. If I'm in pain and I can manage it at home with pain medication, I'm fine. But it's just when the pain medication doesn't work and I can't do anything, that's when I really have a problem with it. Like this morning when I got up, I was getting to that level of tears, and immediately I took my medication. I laid on the bed. I got my heating pad. Like sometimes it is important for me to go in to get that treatment, but I try my best not to go in. Like I try everything that I possibly can at home first because when you go in, you have to talk to people, and then like, sometimes the situations is uncomfortable. Like the ER chairs, waiting room chairs are uncomfortable. Even their bed are uncomfortable. And, the day hospital, the beds are comfortable because I believe they're like the actual hospital beds. the chairs, the recliners, they're comfortable, but just depends on the situation. Like yesterday, it wasn't comfortable for me because I needed to be laying completely, on my back. But, it's just so much stuff that you go through when you go in, to get treatment, that sometimes you just don't want to deal with it. And, for me, and not saying that, the nurses or the medical facilities can help it, not saying that they're doing it on purpose. This is what they have. This is the only thing that they have to work with. So I can't blame them for anything. I can only say that, we should continue to work and strive and, make things better for sickle cell patients. We should continue to let people understand, what the disease is and how it affects us individually as a person, and then maybe things can change. But just for me, it's so much harder going in to get treatment. Like, I just get tired. Like, I was, talking to a nurse yesterday, and, she was asking me how often I go into the hospital or ER for treatment. And I tell her not often, because, like, I will try hard. I will be at home in tears, or waiting for my medication to work, or sitting in a really hot water, or taking a hot shower, or putting a heating pad where it works. Like, I'll try everything in my power to make the situation go away at home, because I feel like when I go into the emergency room or the hospital or whatever, it adds more stress and is uncomfortable for me. Like, I'd rather be comfortable in my own house. So this was my, most current sickle cell crisis story. Like, I thank God that I'm doing much better. Like, I'm not, terribly hurting. I am hurting a little bit, but I've got my heating pad, and, Miss Lola's here keeping me company, and she's really good. Like, she'll sit and play with her toys and watch TV, and I could just relax. And if I just have that little time to relax and get my back heated when she's hungry or needs changing or anything, like, I'll be able to, I've got a little bit more energy. I feel a little bit more better, that I can get up and do what she needs, and, or what I need to do for her. So just wanted to share my story. I know a lot of patients don't like going into the hospital. I know it sucks, but just wanted to hear your side of it, how you feel. What are some of the things that you do to help you deal with your pain at home before you go into an emergency room or a day hospital or whatever the case is. So just checking in, doing a little update on my health. But, as I say, thank God I'm doing better. I'm hoping that I don't have to see that place or go in there for a really long time, except to like a regular doctor visit. So I'll check in with you guys later if I have any more stories or anything else that happened that I kind of want to talk about. All right.